Hello, this is Annette with Project Refine Life. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm here to do a walkthrough of the Self-Love Tarot by Hanna Tricoire. You can find more information on this deck on the Wootique Studio website. Everything will be in the description box. So this deck is 78 cards. Of course, just like any standard tarot deck, it is your standard size. I do not know the GSM. It is quite bendy, as you can see, my technical term for cards, bendy. All of the cards are in full and gorgeous. It comes with a small guidebook, just your basics here, and it comes in a tuck box. It's a nice quality tuck box. I don't have a problem with it. It's actually held up pretty well. Because I use this deck a lot. What I found unique about this deck was, first and foremost, the body shapes. The body shapes that she has hair on her legs, and look at here, she has 4 arms. I love the gold stamping, which I think is just gorgeous. And that's another thing, each card has these details within the cards, which is referred to as hot stamping metallic gold foil. On the back of the cards, look at that. It's just a gorgeous deck. I really like this deck. So, like I said, what makes it interesting or unique for me are these body shapes and sizes. I love the way that she portrays this body within this deck, and I mean, look at that. It is gorgeous. Her boobies are not perfect, they're not plump, they're not, I mean, I like it. I like it a lot, actually. On her website, she states, I am a ceramist and the illustrator behind Wootique Studio. In my work, I focus on the representation of the female form or figure in a different way than expected by media. Hairy legs, a little bit of fat, all those things that make us cozy and human. That is being removed from the world by impossible beauty standards. This is what I'm battling against with my illustrations. Now, she just came out with a yoga deck as well that was on Kickstarter, which of course I backed because I really like this deck. And it's the same thing. The body styles and shapes are nice and mushy, as I've referred to in one of my other videos. But I love that because, you know, like I said, guys, it's just a suit. It's just a suit. Don't get too wrapped up in it. What I'm going to do is just do a flip through. Now, I want you to know that these cards are not in order because this is a working deck and I am not going to put it back in order at this point because I use this deck far too much. So you're just going to see and experience each card, and I will kind of move it around so that way you can catch the wording in case it is a little bit reflective. So like I said, I'll move it around so you can see them. I got this deck because I originally saw it on Kasha from Tarot Maps channel, and I just could not resist. I don't think I made it too far into her walkthrough before I ordered it. I love the body styles. I love the gold foil stamping rather. You know, I don't think that I'm really into like silvery, shimmery, goldy type things, but I have noticed that there are certain decks like this that like, oh my goodness, I need to have this. Look at how shiny it is. I don't know what that's all about, but I really just felt like I needed this deck. And the whole concept of this deck, it is a very caring and loving deck. It's very nice, and I love the way that she portrays the body in her art. It's just gorgeous. I use it when I just need a guiding hand, when I'm feeling a little tired, if I'm feeling a little sad that day, you know, maybe I'm missing my son that day, or maybe something's going on. I do reach for this deck quite often, and it is just an amazing deck to have within my collection. It really has been helpful for me. So I really do love this deck. Now, one of the things that I've noted within this deck is all the bird heads in this deck. Now, there are a few, see like here, the Emperor, he has like a, I think it's a dog, but there's a lot of bird heads and feathers. Here we got a hummingbird, and look at that. I just love that Wheel of Fortune. Again, here we have the King, but also a lot of like peacock. So in the Pentacles, and there's the Knight. I mean, look at how appropriate is that for the Knight of Pentacles. And it is somewhat of a pip deck, but completely illustrated. You can still get so much energy, even like this one, even though it's a little bit less illustrated than some of them, you still can get that energy from that card. To me, you can. Here's the King of Cups, and look at him. He's just like balancing on the moon. Another thing that attracted me to this deck is all the yoga poses within the deck. There are, see, here we go. Here's the Six of Wands. I really appreciate that aspect. But as far as birds are concerned with this deck, and look at the Hermit, she's in the shell. Isn't that cool? And she's holding up the light still. So there is still a lot of the symbology from the RWS deck, and she has become the tree. Look at that within the wands. She is just reaching up and connecting and creating through her own hands that have just developed into this. I don't know, I like this deck a lot. So the bird symbology is all about elevating your consciousness and providing you with self-confidence, which, I mean, look at here, we've got a butterfly here. So as you can see, it really does, here's Judgment, look at her wings here. And some you just have these feathers. Look at that one. I like this. So here's another one where it's a cat, but it's the Empress. And then this is, I'm thinking that it's a swan, because in one of them, it's kind of like wrapped around her neck. I don't know. I really like it. Like the symbology of the birds, because there's a lot of birds in here, just representing that spirit, that messenger, protection, strength, and just lending you a guiding hand. So here we go. The King, he has that little swan head on him right there. And then here we go. Got this black bird flying away, the Princess of Cups. I adore this deck. It is so cool. And then this one, look at the world. Oh my goodness, I just love her. Look at her. All right, so I always like to include deck pairings for you because for me, it's extremely important to pair up my decks. I love to work with Oracle and Tarot together. So here are some of my picks for this deck. So we have the Prairie Majesty Oracle, and this deck, I believe, has been picked up by a publishing company, and they are going to create this mass market. So this is the independent version. I got it through her Kickstarter, and this creator let me tell you something about this creator. I really like her. I like what she stands for. I like who she is. She really, I can't say it enough. I really like her. I follow her on Instagram. And you know what? If you want me to do a walkthrough of this, please leave a comment down below. I would be glad to do so because I really like this creator. So let me just go through this. I'm not going to get all wrapped up in this deck, but anyhow, let me just go through this and show you how the energy of each other feeds on one another. There's a lot of nature in here, or it's all nature rather, and it just kind of flows well. It's colorful, and the overall feeling of the deck, very caring, very nurturing. I really like the deck. And then this one has a little keyword, so if you want to just do a quick pull, then here you go. It's simple to read. The Soul Trees Oracle cards. Now I know she has another Soul Trees or another deck, and it's a little bit different, but I don't know about that. I don't have that one, but this is the Soul Trees, and I look at this. I love the way that these two work with each other. They are just gorgeous. And of course, there's chakras in here, and she's a yogi, so I love the keywords. I love the way, again, that these two just work together. Just beautiful. Up next is one of my absolute favorites, which is, or my favorite, I should just say it, it's my favorite, the Reclaim Oracle. Now, the Reclaim Oracle is known for calling you out on your baloney, right? But let me say that when you're working with the Self-Love Tarot, it's because you need a guiding hand, right? And if you're working with the Reclaim, it's because you're working through some stuff. So I find that if you're pulling the Reclaim as your main energy of your reading, and then you pair it up with the Self-Love Tarot, it gives you what you need here so you can work through your stuff. And then it gives you this gentle, guided, beautiful way to kind of help you get through it, hold you by the hand, and just kind of walk you through the reading, maybe have you think about it for the day. I always say a good thing to do is to take a picture with your camera, reflect on it throughout the day as well. Just go back to it. But these two work really well together. I like working with them in that respect. So you have one to call you out on your baloney, and then you have one to kind of set you straight and guide you and kind of act like your mama and take you by the hand and just kind of pamper you for a bit. The next one is the Mudras for Awakening the 5 Elements. There is another Mudras deck out there. I don't have it. I believe it has to do with the chakras. I don't have that one. But I do have this one. And again, because she's a yogi, I think that these two pair up very well together. So you read your self-love reading, and then you get your mudra, and you kind of work with it in that manner. Now, these mudra cards come with the whole little shebang on the back of the card. So you don't have to go anywhere. You don't even have to grab for the guidebook if you don't want to. But I like the way that, look at this right here. Ace of Cups and Giving. Isn't that gorgeous together? Seriously. Okay, so let's move on. Now, I've mentioned this deck in another video just recently, but the Yantra Wisdom Divination deck, again, just because of the nature of this deck, these fit very well into the energy and space of this Oracle deck. And again, you can work with the mantra on the card, and they just play so well together. I love working with these two together as well. Okay, one last deck that I can recommend for working together is the No Frills Oracle by Redfish Tarot. And this is a very simple deck. The art style is completely different. However, there's still a lot of good energy flowing through with each one. They're both very colorful, very nice. I really like these together. Again, There's a lot of, or there are the chakra cards in here as well. So I feel like these work very well together. Okay, here's some news on this deck. Now, when I was filming this video, I was going on to get all the creators' information, and I was like, oh no, they're sold out. I went to Phoenix and Lotus. Oh no, they're sold out. I found one place in the UK that has the deck. I emailed the creator and she wrote me back. Within the time that I have been making this video, she emailed me back and she said the deck is still available and I should have the books next week. I have them in stock, but small quantities to the website to manage with shopping. Oh my goodness, you guys, I am just a little freaked out because I was like, I'm sharing this. It's now out of print. I don't know if it's gonna come back because when I looked at the website, she said specifically there is a limited amount of cards available. I don't think there will be a reprint of the decks. If you like this deck, I would suggest you keep a close eye on her website. I'm not here to sell you cards, guys. I'm really not. I'm just sharing with you the decks that I like, that I work with. And being that it's February, I think that it's wonderful to work with something like this, but I'm telling you, I work with this deck all the time. This has really become one of my very important decks within my collection. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you guys all so much. If you have any questions, any comments, please reach out. And any of the decks that you saw, the Oracle decks, if you'd like a walkthrough of one of those decks, please let me know. I would be glad to create a video of the walkthrough of any of the Oracle decks that I shared here today. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you later.